What's up, guys? Sorry about the late video. Happy Friday. I've been having mic issues. Hopefully I got them figured out. Let me know in the comments below. But let's begin. It's gonna be a super short video. We're gonna zip through it. I know people got a lot to do or just want to lounge around because it's freezing cold out. Anyways, make sure you smash up the likes, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, tick that notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos, and share the video if you would. All right, let's take a look at what's going on. Same thing, guys. We're still in the same area. We're right here floating around this high volume node. We've talked about this plenty of times. Our fibs are on here. As long as this 17,674 holds, we may come back up to test this 17,080 range. If that breaks, then we're looking for the 17,333, which is going to be our 0.5 fib. And if we get above that, we could go as high as 17.5, 17.6 area, which would be our golden pocket zone. And then, of course, we have the 786 up at 9 or 17.9. But I think ultimately this weekend is going to close lower, and I'll show you why in the charts on the weekly chart. So we've been watching this and pretty much calling this whole thing perfectly. If you guys have been watching my videos, you know about my Amazon compared to Bitcoin chart. I'm going to show you some other bubble pop patterns that are similar, that never have reached the all-time high in over 20 years yet. So something to think about. It's not to say Bitcoin's not going to bounce, not say altcoins aren't going to bounce. I do believe altcoins may have seen their all-time highs forever. That doesn't mean they can't bounce. That doesn't mean that, you still can't make money trading them, but there's a good possibility that they have seen their all-time highs. And I mean pretty much all altcoins, including Ethereum. I could be wrong, but as you guys know, I don't like to mess with them because I think it's just gambling. So anyways, let's get into it. So if we do break back below here, I do think we're still headed towards that 15.8 at some point here. We may see that as early as this weekend or next week. Could get a nice dump to the downside. If that 15.8 breaks, 15.3 is where we got to watch for. Then we got our 14.5 target that we've had forever. Once that breaks, then we look for 12.5, possibly as low as 75 to 8,500 by January, February, maybe as late as March. January, February, most likely. For our false bottom, you guys know I've been talking about that for a while. Let's zoom in here on the 4 hour before we get into the daily. Just look for some divergence here. So as of right now, we're actually, these two highs are lining up, but we do have a higher high in the RSI or a higher high in the RSI, lower high in the price action. If this 4 hour closes, and it would be closed by the time this video comes out, it's got about 20 minutes, but below 18 or 16,850, and we're going to create some divergence there and come down. As you guys can see, this is just a wiki candle wicking out a bunch of the short-term low time frame traders there. That's why I don't trade the low time frames. I don't like that scalp trading. I'd rather swing trade, right? Way more relaxing. Anyways, let's take a look at the daily. So on the daily, longer term, same thing, guys. I think we're looking for around that 14.8 to 14.5 range. Although we did get our test back up here, I think there's a very low possibility that we see 20,000 again for possibly another year or close to it, right? Unless we can get back above here. Actually, we would have to get above this white trend line. And if we were to get up above that and hold support right now, it'd be around 19.5, right? So 20,000, a little bit iffy in my opinion. And I'll show you why. I'll show you the longer term chart at the end, but as you guys know, I think we're going to see a false bottom, and I'm just going to go into the weekly so I could show you that real quick. Like I said, I wanted to try to make this quick. Once we break this 14.9, 14.5 area, I think we go down to 75 to 8,500 sometime in February, maybe March. Get down to this range, then back up to possibly test this 14.9 to 15,000 again sometime in April, March. We'll go into, or April or May, I'm sorry. We'll go into this a little more detail, guys. It's just a Friday video. So like I said, I had mic issues. I was kind of flustered about it. So anyways, Once we do break this 18.5, I do think 35 to 85 or 35 to 4,500 sometime in the middle or end of 2023. I still stick to that, guys. The only thing that would change that on the weekly chart, we would have to open and close some weeks above 26.5 is where it's at right now if it went straight up, but this continues down. But unless we get above that 55 EMA on the weekly, I don't really see any reason for this thing to be any macro reversal. I would not trust getting in until we see a actual macro reversal before seeing any of these lows. Otherwise, I'd be looking to get in on some positions down in these areas, right? We could also look at the RSI on the weekly. We've talked about this. Once this weekly RSI breaks, and I don't believe it's going to break this weekend, right? I do believe it's going to get a rejection here. So we'll see this weekend. I may make a video on Sunday to see where this closed, but nevertheless, if it does open and break out of here, you know, with a vengeance, then that may have been our false bottom. We get our little rally here and then continue down for our true bottom. And maybe it won't go as low as 35 then, but we'll see how this weekly closes. I have a feeling that it's going to close and it's going to reverse pretty hard. So just be careful out there. If you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out Prime XBT. Whoops, I didn't have it loaded. Links down below. There's some free trading sections on there where you can trade for contests, totally free, so you don't risk anything. And you can win tradable funds. So if you win the contest, you might get 1,000 or 5,000 tradable funds, and you can actually keep the winnings off of those. So check it out. Use my promo code SAVVY50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus. Savvy25 will get you 25% off your fees. You can check out the tutorial for Prime XBT on my YouTube page. Anyways, let's take a look here at the monthly RSI. We've been talking about this. Everybody's talking about the weekly bullish divergence, and that's right here on the weekly, but looking at it on the monthly, guys, there's no bullish divergence here. And some people were talking about going off of these lows or something like that, talking about hidden bullish divergence. That's absolutely ridiculous, because this can go way further down until there's an actual bounce. Until there's a real bounce, you can't use that as a bottom because it can always go lower, right? But there's no bullish divergence here on the monthly. That squashes that weekly bullish divergence everyone's talking about, if you ask me. And here is our Dow Jones. I told you guys the other day we would get rejected around this blue line, which is old support, new resistance, and which we have. I don't think we're going to get above this, guys, and make any new higher highs in the Dow. We'll see what happens, but it's not looking likely. As you guys know, my next target for the DXY is around 122. Once that breaks and we break out of that, get support on top, I think we'll go to 170 to 180 range, just like we did back here in the 80s. Same type deal, guys. If you look at this little pullback we're having, we had the same exact one right here from these levels, right to this green line. Then it became resistance. Once we broke it, came back down, was resistance again for a very long time, and right now we're just testing it again. I'm very bullish on the dollar still. If you guys are interested in checking out my wife's webpage, anchorimage.com, that link is below. Help support the channel. She does all this stuff herself. She can put anything you want on any of this stuff, guys, so check it out. So Binance, guys, I think Binance is in serious trouble, along with all other altcoins. Now, that does not say they're not going to bounce. Everything's going to bounce, right? It's not going to go straight down unless they go straight out of business. But eventually, I think it's going to end up like FTX, just by looking at the charts. Nothing other than the charts, guys. I don't pay attention to the news. I don't care about the news. You guys know that. I like the charts. And look at Cardano, right? I made this chart a very long time ago. I still think we're between 1 penny and 8 cents is where this is headed. As you guys know, we broke our 28-cent range. That would be support or resistance if we were able to get back up there, which I doubt. Next support's 22, then 19, then 8, then 1. All the charts look the same, guys. All of them have this pattern. All the altcoins. So don't say, look at Matic, look at Sol, look at Algorand. They all look the same. Doomed. They look horrible. And again, that's not to say they're not going to bounce when Bitcoin bottoms, but I don't think they'll reach new all-time highs. So trade them and make money, just like penny stocks. All right, looking at the .com bubble over here. This is the Amazon.com bubble, and this is Bitcoin. Same thing, guys. Every little pump, everyone's calling the bottom, called the bottom, called the bottom, called the bottom, all the way over here, all the way over here. Same thing, unless this weekly trend line breaks, like it broke over here, right? We broke over here. Once this broke, that was our fake bottom, and then continue up. So if we are able to break it here, maybe this will be the fake bottom. But like I said, watch this weekly. I think we're going to have a dump this weekend. Not to say we can't pump up a little bit before dumping, right? Look at the weekly. There's room to do all kinds. You can pump all the way up to 21 EMA, which would be 19.8 or 19.9, and then get rejection. So I wouldn't do anything in the longer term, right, until this weekend, after this weekend. But I expect a rejection here and start heading back down sometime this weekend into the beginning of next week, right? And if this does play out like this, we get our fake bottom or false bottom February or March. Like I said, could be as low as here. If it played out like it did over here, probably 55 to 6,500. But as you guys know, I've been looking for 75 to 8,500. Then a rally. Everybody gets super bullish again. See, this will look huge because people will be making videos on it, put it in the 4 hour and just making it look like the biggest thing, and Bitcoin bottom, and it's going to the moon, and it's going to reverse hard and come back down to the lower lows, middle or end of next year. I do not believe the 4-year cycle is... all right, let's put it this way. It's not that I don't believe in the 4-year cycle. The 4-year cycle does not have to make new all-time highs every time, and we're going to see that this time. I am almost positive about it, but again, none of this is financial advice. I'm just showing you my opinion and my views on the market. If you guys see my videos from December 2nd when I talked about this happening, you've seen the reactions. Everybody was saying, no way, never happened, you're crazy, Bitcoin never below 40, Bitcoin never below 30, Bitcoin never below 20. Guys, learn to understand markets. Don't focus on one asset. You got to look at the markets as a whole. Bitcoin cannot hold up if the traditional markets don't hold up. And you guys know my opinion on the traditional markets. Traditional markets have a lot further to go. We called the Tesla crash. We called a bunch of different stocks and everything, telling you how low they could actually go while everybody else was saying they were bottomed. That's what you hear in a bear market every day. Something's bottomed. And then the next couple weeks, it's much lower. Guys, just be careful. Here's Nintendo. This is the bubble pop. It's been over 15 years and still never reached its all-time high, right? The next one, Sony. It's been over 20 years and it never reached its all-time high. And look, if we did just the bubble pop of Nintendo, that was 88%. That would be 7,500. Although those don't really match up with the whole macro view, but Sony would be around 4,300. But Sony, this one took from top to bottom was February, almost 14 years, right, for that to go top to bottom. If we're going to see something like that, people are going to be devastated with Bitcoin. But I do believe we'll probably see the end or the bottom sometime in 2023, middle to end, probably around September is what I'm looking for. I'll let you guys know as these charts play out. But nevertheless, we got further to go down, guys, and all this stuff. And I've showed you guys in Ethereum, the same pattern, guys. Litecoin, same pattern. XRP, same pattern. It's all the same. Even gold. Gold looks like it's going to be breaking probably. If it breaks this trend line here, it's going to look like a bubble pop pattern too. It could get down to these levels here, which would be 670, 970, 1200 in those ranges. Silver, same thing, could be as low as like $7. So I don't know, guys. Be careful. I'll see you guys on Monday. Like I said, I may make a weekend video on Sunday, depending on what's going on in the markets. But I do look for this to continue to the downside for this weekend. So have a great day, guys. I'm out of here. Make sure you smash the likes. Subscribe if you haven't, if you want daily updates. Sorry, this video is kind of all over the place. Like I said, I had some issues with the mic, blah, blah, blah. Rough day, cold as hell out. Take it easy. I'm out.